to our innovation night, to all our wonderful presenters. We're going to be focusing on all the different innovations across the supply chain of the industry. That's generally what a cluster does. We're really lucky here today. We have actually a representative from Cosmetic Valley. Say hi. Some of you don't know about clusters, so this is a great time to learn about clusters. So we're the Canadian Cosmetic Cluster. We're part of the Global Cosmetic Cluster. We recently rebranded as a Global Cluster about 2 years ago. There's 20 of us around the world, and we all work very similarly where we bring innovation to the supply chain of the cosmetic industry, from packaging to brands to ingredients to services. We're going to be talking all about that today. We do events. I'll stop here. So we've done events. This was last year in Cosmetics Global. We do a lot of events that are around other activities, such as in Cosmetics Global, Cosmoprof, Cosmetic 360. Cosmetics for our industry isn't just the finished product. We talk about it from packaging, ingredients. We also have Cosmetic 360 Week, which is in Paris, and it's such a wonderful time. This year we got to go to Givaudan. Has anyone ever been to their factory? It's one of the most amazing factories that I've ever been to. We got to see their personal care, their cleaning, as well as some of their cosmetic products. And this was all of us from the cluster groups. It was about 20 of us. It was about 10 clusters that came from Colombia to Canada, from Taiwan. So it was such a great opportunity for all of us to meet once a year in Paris. We're having, again this year, we're going to be having an event just like this. And we do different activities where we visit. And this was our lovely, president. And do you want to talk about the Cosmetic Valley really quickly? Do you want to? I know you're not planned, but do you want to just quickly come up here? It's because how often do we have someone from Cosmetic Valley here with us? And you can talk a little bit about what you're here to do for the year, very quickly.
So I'm here to represent the Cosmetic Valley, but not only the Cosmetic Valley, it's more generally all the French cosmetic industry. So to find partnership, to promote our French companies, and to learn a little bit about the trends in North America, so in Canada and the United States, and also to I'm from French, so it's sometimes a little bit hard to find my words. Well, thank you.
Yeah. And fun fact, our global president, Cosmetic Valley's president, is Mr. Marc-Antoine Jamet, and he is also the Secretary General of LVMH, and he's a mayor, and he's probably the busiest person that I've ever met in my life. Lots of jobs. So this is all of us at the show, as well as our friends in the UK that also do a really great job of representing the UK industry. So there's generally 20 of us around the world, from Colombia all the way to Thailand, and we work in ingredients, we work to connect, we help brands such as Cocoa Berry, to give them, because startups, especially in the modern day, really have a hard time getting to market. By giving them access to all the different aspects of development, it's to really help fast track them. Some of our achievements, we have now close to 200 members. We've also launched the ChemBox, which some of you are partners this year and the past year for the ChemBox. The ChemBox is ingredient supply. We basically connect brands, we connect cosmetic chemists to ingredient samples, and then we find out what works, what doesn't. We've had so many different, Lisa from Quadra, they're going to be talking about some of the ingredients, past and present. And another one of our new ventures is we help assist Stockhouse, which is also, Rula is one of my partners for that, to help bring e-commerce opportunities to Canada and the US for startups all across. If you're a spa company, hair care, skincare, makeup, even fragrance. We also have the Beauty Business School that we're recently relaunched. And the Beauty Business School is a really great opportunity to get access it's 1 month to approximately 4 months, depending on your time frame. We have the ability to help guide you through raw materials, packaging, work directly one-on-one with you, and help develop your brand or help accelerate your brand. Also, if you want to change something, we've had brands that have been around for a while. They need to fresh up because, if you've been around for 10, 15 years, we didn't have all these things like Shopify, Instagram, and it's time to adapt. Even packaging. Something very interesting, I don't know if you're going to be talking about this, but we're now finding that when you photograph packaging, it needs to be adapted, not for retail, but for the internet, because it looks different online. So the design, everything has to fit for the online sector. So a lot of companies are realizing they're going to have to do complete rebrands. Yeah. We also have an innovation element where we partner with Exo Labs in Calgary with our wonderful Annie Graham. She helps prototyping both for raw material companies as well as for brands that are looking to do something else. She helped make Cocoa Berry come to life, which is amazing. So we offer all types of services through our partnerships. We do export, we do consultations for the Canadian market, regulatory help. We have access to marketing plans, educational, all types of things, and we have partners and we fill in the gaps. So any cosmetic project, please come talk to us. Okay. And now we're going to talk to Rula from our partner Pure.
I think I met some of you when I was here last time. So I'm Rula, and we are a new partner of the Cosmetic Cluster, and we just actually are officially launching it today.
Yes.
We have been working for the past about a year together, and we've known each other for about 3 years, and we've kind of figured out that we work really well together and bring different aspects of the cosmetic world. My background is in VP of cosmetic companies, so I bring the marketing and sales and the rest of it to life, and so we have aligned visions with the Cosmetic Cluster, so we can bring a lot of new and different types of specialties, such as Shopify, and I know I use the word Shopify, but it basically is e-commerce solutions. We're futurists, we do a lot of trend spotting out there. We do strategic planning, and we do a lot of due diligence for companies that are in M&A. I've worked for a few companies in the past, and we work to get them purchased by multinational companies. So we're very happy to be part of the Cosmetic Cluster.
Thank you. Thank you. Isn't that everyone's dream to be bought up by L'Oreal? So some of our activities from the years. The global cluster. So yes, I talked about this before. Originally we were called the Cosmetic Cluster Network, and now we rebranded during COVID. It was a great time. Everybody was home, so we could all connect together online. We became the Global Cosmetic Cluster. I think we're one of the first. So it's a meta cluster. What a cluster traditionally is, it's a triple helix of academics, government, and industry. But over the past 5 years, it's really changed. It's really become a network to help startups and industry connect, find access to resources and to capital venturists and things like that. So I would say when I began studying clusters 5 years ago, it's completely different now. In Europe, they're very cluster heavy. There's clusters for robotics, healthcare, so many different things, textiles. I think that our cluster worldwide is the most fanciest. And we are based, the global cluster is, our head office is in France, in Chartres, along with Cosmetic Valley. So generally our activities for the year, we're having a first night out, and then we're going to be launching our mission to France. We're having a French mission this year. We're having a symposium in Bordeaux, part of the upcoming Cosmetic Week, which is going to be on the 16th of October. This is going to be a really interesting event because we're working with the embassy here, with Cosmetic Valley, to do in-person day on the 20th. So Cosmetic 360 is our trade show with Cosmetic Valley and all the other clusters. And then after that finishes on the 20th, we're going to be in Bordeaux, 2 hours from France, quick day trip. And we're actually going to be doing a symposium on roadblocks and sustainability. And we're going to be doing an open call soon for that. Basically, roadblocks is what is preventing you from being sustainable. Everybody wants to be sustainable. So the whole focus of the event, everyone always has events to talk about how they succeed. This is really going to be how you didn't succeed and why. And we're going to be inviting players with the correct solutions, basically from the tech industry, from wine, agriculture, basically thinking of things that can be adapted to our industry that are missing to help companies, either it's packaging or if it's ingredients, also have the same access to success, basically. We're going to be in Barcelona, and then we're having, if anyone's interested, we're going to be having a virtual webinar. We're going to have more information on this. We're partnering with the UK cluster. We're going to be speaking with B Corp, with Nature, and I think the Vegan Society, as well as some others, probably RSPO. We're going to be talking about certifications. There's so many certifications. Some of them are essential. Like I know RSPO is essential for many manufacturers. They cannot do deals with, for example, Estee Lauder. You need to have certain certifications in place. But some certifications are considered to be more trendy. So we're going to be talking about that. I know everyone's wondering about B Corp. So we're trying to get them, the beauty aspect of them to come on and become speakers. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be virtual and that will be recorded. And then finally our cosmetic week. So that's going to be very exciting. Yeah, we already passed that. So let's take a look at innovation. What is innovation? Everyone talks about innovation. It's such a big key word. I think innovation, sustainability get used a lot. Also about our format tonight, some of our members are all over North America, not everyone could make it, so they've provided quotes about what they think. So in general, innovation is a new idea, device, or method, an active process of introducing new ideas. I think some of the best innovations are when you take something that works and adapt it. I've seen a lot of times when innovation, especially maybe in packaging or even as a product, if it's too new, sometimes it just does not fit into the market. So we talked to Valerie George. Is it possible to have, okay, just there so I can. Valerie George, super chemist, she's really famous. So she told us, this was her take on innovation. Almost everything has been thought of or tried and done in this industry. That doesn't mean it can't be done again. Sometimes things fail because it's not the right time and place. Maybe the consumer isn't ready or the technology hasn't been allowed to, the idea to succeed. Don't let this be a barrier. Ask yourself, why is that something that hasn't worked in the past, and figure out how to propel it forward using what you have at your fingertips. I think this is great because now with technology, certain things that were probably not realistic even 5 years ago can be done now, and I think that's very exciting. So that's Valerie. She was really nice too. And then she's going to be submitting for the ChemBox we wanted to announce, and she'll be submitting her shea butter surfactant. And our next ChemBox is delayed. It's going to be coming out in June, but that's very exciting. So our first topic of the evening is beauty on a budget. We have from the charismatic chemist, Rachel Johnson. I know some of you know her, some of you don't. She's also quite an amazing chemist, a winner of the SCS in the United States. She's one of their leaders for the talks. I think she has an award. So we asked her about, everyone's thinking about budgets, about bills and including our industry. So we asked her and she said, it's no secret that cost-effective products were top sellers for beauty brands all 2022. We will definitely see more of that this year as new brands emerge with budget-friendly skincare, personal care formulations. Consumers from Gen Z to X are seeking luxury-esque, tech-infused, effective products that are readily accessible. How are the brands maintaining success while keeping their products affordable, $20 or less? That's a huge challenge. I could really write a book about this, but she has these tips for us. So maximizing minimalistic formulations by using 15 or less ingredients. And I know this has been popular, especially in the natural community, simple formulas, and I think Norm Skincare is a great example of that, is really utilizing, your base. And then we have partnering with micro beauty, SciComm influencers on platforms, sourcing innovative ingredients during R&D that are upcycled, and we're gonna have a great talk from TCUSA about that, from the Upcycled Beauty. Have custom sustainable packaging that gives customers before and application experience. So we're gonna have Cosmogen talk about that. So she really touches on everything. And partnering with manufacturers who can offer savings, both small and large retail batch quantities for indie masstige brands. So I think this is a big, big point to really take home. Right now, people have less money to spend, and I think we're seeing more people walk away from deals with Sephora and going into Target and Walmart. I know that I talked to Rachel, and she has a lovely client that recently did a beautiful brand for Walmart. And I know before, but Walmart Beauty can do really well. The challenge is, as a startup, and I'm sure Coco Berry is going to be talking about this as well as Norm, is that you have a budget. If you're going to do mass, you need to do huge volumes. You're going to be doing 10,000, 25,000, 100,000 to do that lower price range. But we do have options. For example, we have great manufacturing partners in Colombia. A lot of people don't think about manufacturing in Colombia. Colombia is an amazing place to do manufacturing as an alternative to China, and it's very cost effective. And we'll be providing more information on that on our website if anyone's ever interested. They have amazing quality. This is Rachel. And what they do really, really well is they can have the entire product done and shipped to North America. Slightly easier to ship things from South America to North America. So that's Rachel, and we thank her for providing this information for us. Okay, we're going to talk about sustainability because this is huge. Everyone talks about sustainability. Resource is one of our partners, also from the UK cluster, and they also do work in France. Eva Lagarde, she created Resource as an online platform. This woman is amazing. I think she goes to every single trade show to learn about what's sustainable, what not, ingredients, packaging, and she's developed her own method, her own ways to teach people how to be more sustainable. She's worked with L'Oreal, she's worked with several big companies, including packaging companies, to really streamline the process. I've learned so much from her in the past year, and we have actually, anyone here tonight, she has a membership available, and you can if you use Canadian Cluster, you can use a discount. So let me know, and I can provide you with that information. Okay. So basically what they want to do is they want to publish the best quality, and that's Eva. They really want help, and this is why we want to do the symposium as well. Everyone talks about being green. There's a lot of misinformation. And even working with her, I've learned that there's so much out there that we really don't know. Sometimes you think something is green, but then when you look at how much electricity it takes to present, or and I think with packaging, this is huge. Glass versus plastic is not as simple as you think. Or the post-production. In Canada, it's one of the worst things. We don't recycle as well as we should. I know we're having a huge overturn, and it's about time, but there was a time when, about 4 years ago, I tried to interview a recycling plant, and they would not pick up the phone because they had an expose done by the Globe and Mail, where they said that there's many recycling companies that unfortunately outsource, which pretty much they sell their garbage to other countries, which is not recycling. But we are coming around in Ontario. Well, actually, one of the best recycling programs is in Calgary. Alberta does a really good job. I don't know if they're trying to make up for the oil industry, but they have a really good program. I've learned that through some of our partnerships. Okay. And this is another Alberta transplant that we got to meet in Calgary. They are an amazing company. Has anyone heard of Cleano2? They basically, it's two things that they do. They have machines that help carbon, they capture the carbon, they're called Carbon X units, and then with the leftovers, they have this pearly ash and they make soap. Oh. Yeah, and they work with a lot of upcycled ingredient companies. So this is a really, basically, it turns out captured carbon and formed pearly ash, and what they do is they make both physical soap, and then they make laundry detergent now, they make pet soap, and they also have liquid as well, so an amazing company. And now we have a submission from Seacliff, another one of our packaging partners. They have 100% ocean-bound plastic. So basically, they work with a company from Switzerland.
Correct.
Yeah.
High ocean.
Yeah. Yes, Tide Ocean, Ocean Tide. And I think this is really, Tide Ocean material. And really everyone talks about plastic pollution, but we don't realize that there's a lot of plastic that we can actually source from the ocean. And we're seeing a lot of these new ways of thinking about garbage and recyclability, both in packaging as well as in ingredients. So, yes. Plastic is collected from the oceans, inflows, coastlines, uncontrolled landfills, at least within 50 kilometers of coast. And it's scary to think how much. Has anyone been swimming? Even in Mexico or any of the Caribbeans, even in Lake Ontario, there's a lot of garbage. And I'm really happy to see that we're collecting it, we're processing it. At the Swiss University of Applied Scientists, they developed a mechanical process that turns all the ocean-bound plastic into premium award-winning raw materials. So basically it's collected, shredded, engineered, and packaged. And I'm personally curious to learn about the process more, to see is there a difference in the quality. So I think we're having more research and more people talking about it. And we have now our first speaker, Jerry Gomez from TCUSA, talking about ingredients. I'll look at that. I'm going to change it. Give us a few seconds. I'm going to have to take over because. There we go. Thank you, Jerry.
I'll put it quiet, please. Thank you. How's that? Good? Okay. Yes, you're not dreaming. In fact, the United Nations estimates about a fifth of all food produced goes to waste around the world today, and that's even before it hits your store shelves. Next. Now that I've got your attention, let me introduce myself. I'm Jerry Gomez, and I'm Technical Director at Charles Tennant & Company. As a supplier of cosmetic ingredients in Canada, shaping the industry for more than 90 years. We'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about upcycle beauty and introduce two new ingredients coming out of this new approach to sustainable sourcing. Next. Next. Upcycle beauty is a term that's heard more and more these days. The debate at the moment is whether this is a passing fad, a mid-trend, or a paradigm-shifting economic model for the future in our industry. Personally, I believe it's the latter. Next. What is it then? Essentially, it's creating value out of waste, as Marguerite already touched on a bit. It is our belief that this movement that is here to stay and grow sustainably in the future. It offers forward-thinking brands the opportunity to create innovative and disruptive beauty products, thereby breaking the mold of conventionality. Are you the next innovative, disruptive brand? Next. Giving consumers what they want. That alone, as a formulator myself, is a very scary phrase. In the world when you have ever more savvy and social media influenced consumers. We know that consumers today are more demanding for plant-based, sustainable raw material ingredients, as you can see from the data presented here. And it speaks to its, loads itself. It is therefore imperative to formulate smart, use ingredients that will speak to these very same consumers. I believe we're at a crossroads right now where our industry demands for more natural, plant-based raw materials are in direct collision course with our ever-increasing needs to feed an ever-growing population and strains that puts on our very same feedstocks we use. Next. With all that said, there is a perfect example of what upcycling represents. Fat Atomic is a new active ingredient which Charles Tennant is excited to present to you this evening. From one of our newest vendors, oddly enough, named Upcycle Beauty Company out of the UK. They offer an avant-garde list of upcycled beauty ingredients for cosmetic applications, of which Fabric Tonic is just one of them. Chickpeas can be used for more than snacking or making hummus, as they have a unique property which can be exploited for use in cosmetic applications. Fabric Tonic is a styling, provide a unique ingredient for hair care application that provides styling, curl retention, as well as conditioning for hair care formulations. It contains a natural film-forming polymer to aid providing better maneuverability and easier detangling in hair care preparations. Next. Here you see an example of the upcycling, how it works. In the commercial preparation of hummus, the chickpeas are harvested and then cooked and then pureed into the hummus along with other ingredients. That's product number one. Now the byproduct, which is the cooking liquor, would normally have gone to waste. Upcycle Beauty Company, using a proprietary process, obtains the active ingredient from this liquor, and through an addition of natural preservatives, we now create Fabric Tonic, which is product number two. Next. Another example of what Charles Tennant offers in terms of upcycled sustainable ingredients is our virgin plum oil from Paradigm Science in the US. This golden oil has a mild almond note and is rich in both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, namely, and offering very high levels of natural occurring tocopherols in the form of vitamin E. It is non-comedogenic, thus will not block skin pores, and it is known to, and the fatty acids present in the oil are known to diminish inflammation caused in acne skin. And it helped, back. Okay, it's ideally suited for skin and body care emulsions and even cleaning applications. It offers an ideal base for fragrance-free natural cosmetics. The oil is considered sustainable and upcycled as the pits housing the seeds are extracted as a byproduct of the food and beverage production. These seeds are then processed, cold processed to obtain the virgin oil. Okay, next. In closing, I would like to thank Margarita and the Canadian Cosmetic Cluster for giving us the opportunity to briefly present this evening. Please feel free to come to our table and talk to us about these new and innovative upcycled ingredients. Also, you can ask for a copy of the 2022-2023 waste report, in which you will find chock full of ideas and data on upcycling ingredients and cosmetics. Thank you.
This is Harry, who's the founder of Upcycle Beauty in the UK. Okay, and now Quadra. Yeah.
Go slowly, but don't fall. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for attending tonight. Margarita, thank you for having us here. For those of you who don't know us, Quadra is a chemical ingredient distributor. We are the largest Canadian privately owned distributor in Canada, and we're number 9 in North America. One of our main points is our core values. These are the values that we live and breathe day to day, and they guide our decision making, and they are an integral part to our culture. Innovation is the one core value that I'm just pulling out here tonight. That is really what helps us to make better business decisions, and it's really the key to our success. Talking about innovation, pulling out the upcoming 2023 Mintel Trends Report. These are the top 3 trends that Mintel is seeing or predicting for 2023. We're looking at beauty RX. Really, this is the medicalization of the beauty industry, where consumers are looking for proof for those claims. We're also looking at evolved self-care, not just your deep, your facial facials and you're soaking in the tub. We're really talking about intimate wellness. We're talking about the journey, the hormone journey, as well as wellness throughout different life stages. And the final one is new rules, really just the playfulness, experimentation, DIY. How can the beauty industry evolve and be more in tune with the fluidity? Tonight we'll focus on 4 different suppliers. We have Polymer Expert. They are manufacturers of smart polymers that offer unique textures. We have GoBiotics. They are a Dutch company, and their products are more related to microbiota and prebiotic. Expansions, they are also a French company. Their patented molecular distillation extraction process allows them to create botanicals that offer unique textures, and Neolus. This is another French company that utilizes active plant cells, and with that, they create unique cosmetic actives. From Polymer Expert, we have 2 ingredients here from their Estogel line, really targeting that new rules, that third trend that Mintel was talking about. The Estogel line allows for suspending properties. So think of a gel that can suspend flowers or glitter or particles and offer that unique aesthetic approach, but still have a clear or transparent finish. Also, their Estogel line, there is a different rheology that happens where it goes from being liquid in the jar to gel on skin contact. So there is definitely a thermal attribute to their products. The Estogel M is 91% naturally derived, whereas Estogel Green is 100% naturally derived. So we offer 2 different versions for the different end-use application. Next slide. Focusing on GoBiotics, they offer their Gosselin rice. This is a rice starch. This particular product's been used for over 1,000 years in the Japanese culture, and really it allows for smooth skin as well as a mattifying effect. It is pretty much rice water that's organically grown in the EU, but they also have clinicals. They offer clinical testing, in vitro testing, again, talking about that beauty RX as well as the evolved skincare that Mintel was discussing. From Expansions, we have Calibiota Bio. And this particular ingredient, again, offers clinicals and in vitro. It is taken from the red kapok tree flower and sourced in Burkina Faso, but really the benefit here is it speaks to there are clinical trials that are specific to the feminine hygiene, so the intimate areas. So again, it's speaking to that evolved self-care that we're discussing. And last but not least, we have Neolus. Their Serene Skin Sage, again, offers clinical testing, in vitro testing, but the real benefit to Serene Skin Sage is in the protective barrier. It really protects both the chemical, physical, and inflammatory barriers of the skin. Neolus, one thing that Margarita mentioned earlier is the minimalist approach. Neolus, each of their active ingredients offers 4 to 5 different claims that are all available with the clinicals and the in vitro. So again, there are different ways of being innovative, different ways of being environmentally or humanly friendly, and all of these suppliers offer that. So we are Quadra, helping you create the future of personal care. So please come by and see us in our booth over there in the corner if you have any other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Amazing, we're seeing a lot of different ingredients. And here is one that we found that I thought was really interesting is amber powder. Has anyone heard of amber powder? You know amber? Mineral stone, yeah. This is a company from Lithuania. And what they do is they have different types of, the different grades of the micropowder. And it's available in 5 different types. And it's used in skincare products. It helps with this exfoliation. It helps with, to improve skin texture. You can do it in scrubs, masks, exfoliating products. This is a really new, so basically what amber is fossilized tree resin from the age of the dinosaurs. If anyone's seen Jurassic Park. So instead of making dinosaurs, they make cosmetics. So it's wonderful. We'll have a video available, a part of our, we're gonna be sending all this to everyone. Okay, now we have our next speaker. I'll say.
Thank you so much, Margarita, for having us tonight. I'm Neelam. I'm Technical Account Manager at GatteFosse. So GatteFosse is B2B independent family-run company. We have been around for more than 140 years, and we develop, manufacture, and sell our own ingredients. We have two major businesses, pharmaceutical and personal care. Under pharmaceutical, we have lipid functional excipients, and in the personal care, we have actives, extracts, and textures. So for actives, we have our own patented technologies like NADAS and LTTM, which are highly efficacious concentrated actives. We have different claims that can help support your products like anti-wrinkles, complexion, protection, moisturization, and repair. Under extracts, these are highly efficacious and deliver strong activity boost in your formulation. Wide range of fruits and plant species available. Textures, we are pioneers in this, and we have sensorial emulsifiers, texturizing agents, and emollients. We create innovative textures and have various formulations. Our booth is right over there if you want to try something new. Today I'm going to talk more about our patented technology, that is wax butter technology, that we use for creating our emulsifying agents and texturizing agents. So let's look at, when creating this technology, what is the input of the reaction? We have solid wax that are saturated esters, and we have jojoba wax that are unsaturated esters. And these both also bring like free fatty acids, fatty alcohols with them. But when we mix them together, there is nothing happening. And that's the reason we have to add polyglycerol 3, which is an intermediate of the reaction, and it helps the reaction to proceed further for the transesterification. Now let's look at what happens when the reaction is complete. We have amphiphilic compounds that are polyglycerol 3 esters, fatty acids, and fatty alcohols, and then we have mixed esters. Why these molecules are of interest for us? So these are the ones which have the properties of oil in water, water in oil emulsification, improve the stabilities of emulsifiers, and they are also new esters which help in bringing the improved sensoriality and the new sensation feeling of your formula. Let's look at the benefits now. So before transesterification, there was a liquid wax and a solid wax. We can see there's a huge sensorial gap between these two products. After transesterification, what happens is there is a continuous sensation and increased compatibility between both because of the formation of the mixed esters. So the mixed esters are the ones which bring up the sensoriality aspect of the formula. We have many natural emulsifiers, that is Emulsium Kappa, Emulsium mellifera, and Emulsium dulcea. These are our main emulsifiers. Actisir NB and Definisir are two texturizing agents. Actisir is mainly used for skin, and Definisir is for hair. That is it what I had for tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Thank you, Margarita, for having us again.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to be moving on, I believe, to Cosmogen, learning about packaging. One of the most amazing, innovative packaging companies, I think.
Well, I tell you, after listening to all about the ingredients, I want it all. I am really excited for this evening. Thank you, Margarita, and to meet you all, whoever came to my little booth first. So Cosmogen has been around for about 40 years. Actually, 40 years. We just celebrated it. We actually started off as a makeup artist's dream, and we started off with makeup brushes, professional. And from there, it developed into the brands wanted to have, actually, just leave it there for 1 sec. And it developed into the flow-through application of different formulas. So Cosmogen is all about one thing, safe beauty, meaning that it takes away the hand gestures, and it actually puts it into a application, kind of a tube, using an applicator without touching your hands, so the hygiene behind it. So that's what safe beauty is all about, and we keep that in mind every time we develop something. Sustainability beauty is, because we're out of Paris, we're a European kind of format, we have to develop everything that has to be with a sustainable message. And since I'm standing here, I'll give you an example. So we develop all of our applicator tubes, but we also develop it with a removable applicator. So this could go into one bin, this could go in the other, or the consumer could keep the applicator and just replenish it. So it depends on where you are in your brand and where you want to deliver that sustainable message. So we consider ourselves sustainable and recyclable ready. So wherever you are in your message. And also, well, Cosmogen considers ourselves experts at it. And these are just some application to use. And as you had mentioned, Margarita, it's all about the application. It's to take your formula to the next level. It won't mean anything by putting it on your hands and just slapping it on your face. It won't deliver it. And it shows extremely well on a social media platform. It gives that wow factor. It really does. And it delivers that product where you want it. So these are just some examples of what we can do. We have different metallics. We do stainless steel, Zamac for the cooling. If you're doing an anti-inflammatory type of skincare, we offer those types of applicators. That's just to show you some of the safe contact. These are some of the different applicators that we could, the second one, if you notice, and I don't know which slide we were looking at, but the technology that has been around 10 years never took off until just about a year ago. Strivectin came to us and they developed a neck cream, and that thing is flying off the shelf. But it's been around for 10 years. The technology's been there, but we just weren't ready for it because the formulas weren't there yet. And this is what we try to do. We try to stay ahead of the trends, but sometimes we are way ahead. And we try to offer different stones. This one is a rose quartz, and then we have the jade-like. It's not real jade, but jade-like, just to give you that differentiation. We have different size for tubes, as well as our applicators. So this is more for the face, more targeted, more eye, more lip, concealers. And a lot of the formulas, I'm sure we've all talked about, are becoming more hybrid, color into skincare, skincare into color. So we try to develop all our applicators that would do the cross. And these are just some of them. We just launched, and most of our packaging is patented, so a lot of the engineering is behind it, and it's been patented. This is our reuse stick. It's watertight. It's the only one on the market. It's a stick that, if you notice that in the market, you'll see some of your formulas, they dry and they crack, and the formula doesn't last. In this particular package, because it's a watertight base, it lasts forever until the product is finished, until the consumer's finished with it. We offer different applicators to go with it, depending on skincare, depending on its color. And then what we try to do is when we develop the package, we work a lot with the formulators as well, and the contract manufacturers. So we try to develop the package, and we give you the formula that would go well with it, serums, a deodorant, or a highlighter. We try to give you that kind of direction. We came up with our new generation, and so I must mention something. All our tubes are designed with the on-off system, meaning that it turns on, the consumer dispenses, they turn it off, they can continue to massage it because it's all about the experience, and then they just clean it and put it away without contaminating the product and the formula. So it really does benefit. So that's our patent, and it's the on-off system. And we have different applicators for that. Hair has been explosive, so we launched a detox type of format. That's going to be launched. We're going to see a lot more in the marketplace. I don't know if it's going to be on TikTok or something, but once it's on there, it's going to go crazy. So we develop different applications. We try to show you as well, based on the formulas and based on what the consumer's looking for, how to use it, where to use it, different formulas to go with it. We try to meet as much as we can. We have a lot of brands that come to us and say, hey, I'm working on a lip product. I will actually cut and paste and do a whole bunch of different options for them. And it all depends on what they want to do. We came up with our sustainable paper stick. It's the newer one on the market. It's the one, this one is not like what you see out there. This is brand new. The paper sticks out there, you notice the old, they don't function very well. You got to push from underneath, and then once you apply it, it goes right back in. Ours is we developed a pattern. It's a twist. So it's actually, and it's all paper, and it's moisture barrier as well. So you can do this. Yep, it is. It's really bad. We just launched that one. I don't even think I have samples actually. We haven't even developed it yet. And then I think,
Yeah.
what else did we do? That was
That's it, yeah.
And then voila.
For our lovely, the rest of our speakers. I just really want to touch on fragrance. We talked about body care. I think a lot of the ingredients as well as packaging. I am in love with this product. This tube, it looks like it's like a rose. It's a rose.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Can you imagine a rose scented, upcycled body
Body scrub.
body scrub?
Yeah.
Amazing. Body care is going to be huge this year. Well, we predict, we saw this year with the scalp. The scalp system has adapted from shampoo and to conditioner. We're seeing serums, we're seeing exfoliating treatments, we're seeing scrubs. So we're basically seeing the facial format
Going into the body.
going into the hair care, and now it's going to be adapted. You're seeing full body serums.
Mhm.
And then we need the packaging to adapt it because, you know, putting a little bit on your face and putting a serum on your body, that's two different packaging types. Fragrance. This is one of my favorite companies. We have some little samples over there that you can try to test out. Has anyone heard of Michel Germain?
Mhm.
Yeah? Yeah, they're amazing. This is a Canadian brand and it's produced in Canada. So we have fragrance that is done in Canada. I don't think a lot of people know. And I think this is just sexual is one of their main lines. I just wanted to quickly touch on that before we move on. It's okay, you can leave it there. The reason for that is not a lot of people realize the potentials of the Canadian market. Not a lot of people realize that we have a plant that does fragrance production here. So there's a lot in Canada we don't know. One of the reasons is we do struggle to get ahead because we don't have the same resources like Europe. So this is another example of the difference between Canadian production and production in Europe. So this is Ground Up Eco Ventures, which is a coffee company. Has anyone heard of this one? They do upcycled coffee oil based out of Alberta. Coffee oil, upcycled coffee oil is, I would say, is dominated right now currently by Cafe Bueno out of Copenhagen, and they have partnered with Givaudan. They do not only oils, they do extracts, they're doing colors. But in Canada, we also have the same, like a very similar company who's trying to do the same, and they are looking to get more funding, they're looking to grow. They're very cost effective. So why coffee oil? It reduces fine lines, wrinkles, it brings a great appearance, simulates hair growth, body, we're talking about body care. Caffeine oils are amazing for body care. So upcycled coffee. Canada imports 300,000 metric tons of coffee every year. This is a lot. Sending the coffee grounds to the landfill when it's done. Methane gas is 25 times more damaging in the environment than CO2. So all of this, basically all the coffee we drink, it all goes to garbage. So this is a Canadian company. What they do is they upcycle the coffee oil. It's 100% natural, it's sustainable, and it's really good for the environment, and it's good for companies. They're taking all that waste and they are making products out of it, just similar to what Jerry was saying with upcycled beauty. There's so many avenues that we haven't even fully explored in terms of what the next ingredients can come from. Think about Christmas, think about Christmas trees. That gets tossed until somebody realizes the floral industry. I've been saying this for a while. My dream is to do a project with all the flower shops, events, weddings. What happens when that's done? All the roses, it goes into the garbage. So in Canada, we're definitely looking at ways to also do homegrown innovation. So there's a lot of potential in it. It's hard to get funding. I think I've had clients before. I've had companies in the cluster that compete against companies in US and Europe that have full funds, either from private or from the government, and they end up falling behind. So that's kind of the sad thing. So we have to support our Canadian brothers too. So let's talk about Pom Pom Nordic Powders. This is from one of our, we're gonna skip the video for now. So Pom Pom is out of Calgary. They do all types of powder products, so they're sustainable. We're gonna have water. And they have a very unique system with when you mix with water, they turn masked, they can be used for your hair, for the face, for the body. And now we're gonna have Yvonne speak about Norm Skincare.
Hi everyone, my name is Siobhan. I'm the proud founder of Norm, Natural Organic Matters, and we're all natural cosmetic company where we focus on problems relating to skin with due to the environment or severe skin conditions that we could treat using natural ingredients. What we did is personally growing up in a warm climate, moving to the cold climate. It has been a challenge for me being a chemist, finding ingredients that would give me that simple moisturizing effect without overcomplicating it for no reason, personally for me. And that's why we decided to go in a different direction using ingredients that is just there, naturally, right? And hopefully create more products that other individuals like yourself could use without worrying about what's in it. Because the cosmetic industry is self-regulated. So if we don't pay attention to what we put onto our skin, it may be harmful for you. So that's why we want to take that pressure off of you and provide natural products that we know that work, but more importantly, being the norm for Canada. So, if there isn't one that can help us become more popular, we definitely want that help. And if you could help us get into any industries that you think our products would be the right fit for, I'll definitely open to talking to you all. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Now on to Cocoa Berry.
Hey everyone! So I think we've heard a lot about Cocoa Berry so far this evening, so really happy to be here. Thank you, Margarita, for inviting us to talk. We were here at the show in September, so if you were as well. You got to see our prototypes. I'm happy to say that since then we have launched, so we have some of our finished packaging. We've launched some accessories to complement our hair care line. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is how we innovate. So you heard Margarita say at the beginning that innovation can be something as simple as changing a process or a method of doing things. So one of the things that we wanted to do differently was our branding. So if you walk into Walmart, if you look at Sephora, if you look at any of the ads that you're seeing for hair care brands, they tend to be often very monochromatic, neutral tones. They're kind of boring. So we really wanted to have a brand that was fun and vibrant and really brought that life to hair care, because if there's any women in here, and you can totally put your hand up, don't be ashamed to, but when your hair looks great, don't you do a little tussle? You walk out feeling really confident, right? So we wanted to bring that same sort of fun energy into the branding for the hair care line. The products are designed for textured hair. So all curl types. That's another thing that we've done differently versus a lot of other hair care companies. So a lot of hair care companies are really tailoring their products to specific curl types. The challenge with that, and myself, I can attribute to that, is that a person might have multiple curl types. So for myself, I'm kind of a mix of a wavy and curly curl type. Depending on the season, it might be more wavy, it might be more curly, depending on the day of the week or whatever. It might be a little bit. So we really wanted to move away from having these rigid regimens catering to curl types and have a single line that could address the common challenges for all textured hair. So things like dryness, textured hair needs a little bit more moisturization. Things like hair falling. Scalp health is a big thing right now, so we also wanted to make sure that we were addressing scalp health. Hair growth, breakage, all dandruff. Our shampoo contains blueberry oil, which is great for helping reduce dandruff. The other thing that we do is, like I mentioned, we use scientifically proven ingredients. So we are able to make a lot of claims about the benefits of our product. One of those ingredients is the MV Redensifier from Quadra. Amazing. So it has a lot of scientifically proven, data-backed claims that we can make about our hair care. The Last and probably, I'd say the most important thing for me is really taking, we've heard a little bit about self-care and how big self-care is going to be in the cosmetics industry and how it's sort of branching out into all these different aspects of the cosmetics industry. So we really wanted to bring that self-care idea to hair care, because most people will probably think of their hair care routine as this really mundane, hygienic process. I go in, I do my wash, I do my shampoo, I do my conditioner, and I'm like done. All of our products are really made to stimulate the senses, so they have a really great slip to them, so they feel really great in your hands. They feel great on your hair. It has like a really cooling effect when you put it in. It smells amazing. One scent will make you feel like you're on a beach somewhere. So really taking those everyday processes and making them little small self-care moments. Again, to really promote our tagline is be very, and it's really all about being very authentic, being very confident, being very bold, being very whatever you want to be that day. So those are sort of in a nutshell the 4 ways that we've tried to innovate as a brand and stand out from our competition.
Thank you, Vanessa. And she talked about the lipstick effect, which I think is really important, especially we talked about beauty on a budget. I'm just going to touch on testing, because right now everyone's talking about claims and proving. It's been called that this is the year of the doctor, so we have so many different brands that are going to the medical approach. They use words like cosmeceutical, medical grade ingredients. Well, people want to see the proof. There's a lot of formulators that ask, is the ingredient research applicable to all of the ingredient research together in the final product? So this is where this is one of our partners, Princeton Consumer Research. They do product testing of all sorts. From your standard HRIPT test, which is just for the sensitivity, and they do pediatric, midwife, they do eczema, sensitive skin, which is something that, the gynecological, which is something that Lisa touched on. We're having a lot more intimate care products being developed. Ocular, allergies, moisturization, cell renewal. Everyone talks about how the ingredients and the final formulas. So proving that things work really is a big part, and I think transparency and backing up what you're saying, even if you're a doctor, saying is not just good enough. You have to show people. And I think that's going to be even more in the next 2 years relevant. And that's it. Thank you for the evening. Is there any questions? Anybody have any questions? I can find you later. Yeah? Okay. Thank you.